Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Aslam. I am a Google developer expert in the Firebase category in cloud AI as well as in AI, which is very focused on LLM. This is about my little bit of background. I have 10 years of experience in test automation. Of course, like testing the application, automating the application. I reside in United Arab Emirates and I'm working here for a company. Today's our topic will be on how we can build app with AI Studio. So Google has its own feature which is called as AI Studio. It is a web-based application which you can access. So we will be first of all understanding what are the key features that it has, and then we are going to maybe prototype a small website with prompting and see how does it performs. Okay, so this would be the agenda of our slides. Number one, what is AI Studio? How do we get started? What are some of the core concepts that are there? Building basic applications and then advanced techniques, and also, of course, production and deployment. Okay, so, what is Google AI Studio? Google AI Studio is a browser based development environment. Basically, it helps you to generate code, it helps you to use its API key to build custom solutions. It is something in which you can interact in the background, create some prototypes, and of course, you can create different types of application, mobile, web, so whatever you want you can build it, and then you can also select a specific language. For example, if you want to do it in Python, JavaScript, and then also you can view these usage analytics at how many tokens that you have utilized. So let's talk a little bit about the Gemini model family. So Gemini model family have around four different, product or servicing that are available. So we have Gemini Ultra, which is the most capable, and it is very, very good to handle complex level of tasks. And then we also have Gemini Pro. It is very good on performance and it is cost effective. And next one we have is Gemini Flash, which is fast, effective, and also lightweight. Last but not the least, we have Gemini Nano, which is available on device and it is tiny on footprint. So again, it completely depends on what your use case is. If you're working with complex systems or complex tasks, you might go for Gemini Ultra. If you are looking for some prototyping, see how does a prototype perform, then you might go for Gemini Pro. And if you are just like exploring or learning new things, then you might want to go just with Gemini Flash. And similarly for Gemini Nano, it also depends on the budget or the pricing that you have. Okay, moving on to the next. So how do we get started with Gemini? It is very, very simple. The very first thing you need to have is you need to have a Google account. If you have a Google account, you can simply type in, like, here you come and you just type 1 minute. Let me just try to share my entire screen. I think I'm just sharing a few of it. Okay. Yeah. So you will come here and you will just type in the browser Google Studio AI. Okay. And you're just going to hit the enter button. So the top result that is going to reflect, you'll just click simply on that. And this is how the Google Studio AI looks like. Okay. So this is a very first step that we have here, that you create your you can come here and then you just need to make sure that you have a Google account. Because my Google account is already logged in, that's why it redirected me to this page. If you are not logged in or you don't have an account, it will ask you to either log in or create a new account. Okay. And then once you are able to log in and you have a Gmail account already, you need to generate your Open API key. So it's very, very simple. It depends on, like, again, what your usage is. You will come here, you will click on Get API key, and you can, create API key. It will give you on what projects do you want to utilize. You can select the project and, generate a key out of it. Sorry. Okay, and then after you generate a key, you can also select Gemini model. As we just discussed in the previous slide, there are around 4 to 5 different models. It completely depends on your use case and on your budget. How do you want to utilize it? And what is the system that you are interacting with, and also based off your budget. After that, the next step is going to be write your first prompt. You are going to tell it to maybe build a prototype or a website or anything. You are going to give it a prompt, and then it will just start executing that, and give you a code as well as a interactive screen. So we are going to do that demo in the end. I'll just like to go over the slides first. So once you have the code generated, of course you can download the code. You can push it to the GitHub, or you can customize the code by downloading it and using it in the VS Code or any of other the IDs that you have. Okay, so there are some of the core concepts that we have when we are working with AI or LLM. So number one is our tokens. That how are we utilizing our tokens? Because of course, if you have a paid subscription or something, you will be able to use tokens, or how you are interacting. For example, the more you use, the more token will be consumed. So you need to make sure if you are utilizing your token, you're using them in the right way, because that is directly going to impact your cost. And then we have the temperature. So if you want temperature is something, how much randomness you want in the LLM. If you send your temperature to 0, so it is going to be very very strict, and it is just going to answer based off how you have trained the LLM. So for example, if I have built a very small use case, where I'm just asking some question to the LLM and it is giving me answer, but I just want it to be very specific and give me answer based of only on the documents where I have trained it on, right? I don't want it to be creative or innovative or start giving me some different answers. So I will set the temperature at 0, which means it should only provide me the relevant answer and it cannot be creative. So the temperature relies from 0 to 1. If it is 0, it means there will be no customizations or no creativeness. Whatever you have trained on the LLM, it will give you the same response. If you keep on increasing it to 1, or maybe 0.3, 0.5 or something like that, it will start to innovate a little bit. It will start to give you more ideas. So for example, in chat gpt you ask it a question, or in google AI studio you ask it a question, it might be innovating ideas, or you just share a prototype, it will innovate the entire idea and share the results with you, that this is how you can implement it. But whereas when you're working in a company, you might want to build something which is very very system specific, you will set the temperature as 0. Okay. And then of course we have the system prompting. How do you want, how do you want the system to respond to your prompt? This is very, very critical if you want the consistency to be in your app. So whenever you are prompting, you need to make sure that you are covering all the aspect. If you are building a small POC, it's fine. But if you are really willing to build production ready apps, you need to make sure you always cater the security aspects of AI, that if you are building something, it should have all the security, AI governance, and also if you are utilizing some database, it should not be publicly exposed. So you need to make sure that your prompts, if you are delivering production ready applications, you are adding the right prompts and making sure all your backend and surround system are covered properly. The next thing we have is the context window. So again, as we discussed, right, that we have our context window. If you ask it a question, it will keep responding to us and it should give us relevant responses. And then we have our safety settings. Again, it depends. We can configure our safety settings, that how do we want our AI to respond, what are the config, like our basically harm filter can be configurable, how do we want it to respond. So these kind of settings are also available in Gemini. And for example, stopping the consequences, so this will tell the model to stop generating like different ideas where which are very irrelevant to your use case. So if we are again building something which is more focused on your product, or more focused on Google, it should not answer questions related to maybe Microsoft. So this is some of the core concepts that we have there. Okay. So you can build, like again, as we discussed, we can discuss a basic application. You can do text generation, which can help you in writing the blog post. You can also do email writing. It can help you to explain the code, review code. You can do summarization of the tools or summarization of the long documentation. And of course, if you want to use the translation service, that is also available within the Google AI Studio. And then we also have the chat module. Basically, it is a multi-turn chat. So it can basically with one module you can build up multiple things, like it can also understand the text, it can understand the video that you are uploading and providing you. It can also you might be uploading some audio, which is in a different language, it might be able to translate that for you as well. And then we have documentation as well, for example uploading again images, asking some question, extracting data, or asking it to structure some data, and then comparing multiple documents to see how does the results look like. Okay, and then of course, like if we go further into Google AI Studio, there are some advanced technique as well, that multi-modal inputs. Again, this is something which I was just referring to, that combination of text, images, video in a single prompt. You give it like, okay, this is my text, but I also want to understand, is this text relevant to the image that I'm uploading, or is this text relevant to the video? Can you summarize what is in it? So multi-modal inputs are also there. And then function calling, of course, you can call APIs, you can call databases, you can call AI or different AI systems, you can also call real systems. And then of course RAG, so you inject basically your own data and see how it is performing there. And of course, like we have AI agents now in picture as well, where you ask it to perform some specific task for you, and it does, like you give it just commands, and it starts to building a workflow based out of it. Okay. So, as we discussed on production and deployment, of course, if you are building a POC, you might be able to build a POC within 1 or 2 hours, and you might get super excited about it, and it's very very good. But of course, if you are thinking to make those application live and you want to deploy those application, there are few aspects that we always need to make sure we are catering. Number one is the security. We always need to make sure that we are not exposing our API key in the front end code. We are using server side proxy for all the APIs call. We are rotating our keys very regularly. We are setting a rate limiting of usage as well. So for example, you just made a website live, but you see a lot of people are interacting with it, and it has costed you a lot of money. But whereas you are still a small business and you just don't want a lot of people to interact with it, so these kind of things can help you from security aspect. So from performance side, you also need to come keep some key area in your mind, that you should have common responses cached. For example, if I ask a question like, what is the weather in Dubai? So this is something which is already known, right? We do not need to hit the LLM every time. We can store this in the vector DB or something like that. Whenever I ask it, it can just provide that response from there. This helps in reduced cost, because every time we hit on LLM, we are charged a cost for it. And then of course, we also need to make sure that we batch the requests when possible, rather than just sending all the requests at one time. That of course costs a lot of money as well. So you need to make sure, if you whenever it is possible, you send your requests in batches. And then for faster responses, you need to make sure you streamline your processes as well. The next thing is on the error handling. We need to make sure, if you are not getting a relevant response, you ask a question to the bot and it have not given you a response, you can try to implement retry logic. So I ask one question, maybe the server was not available. The next thing you can do is you can maybe ask that question again, or just add a retry button where it can give you the response again. Handle the security aspect as well. If you feel like you are getting some errors, you need to make sure your error logging is done properly. Your monitor of token usage is also done properly. So these are some of the basic things. And then once you are in the scaling phase, you need to make sure that you might be utilizing Vertex AI for enterprise grading. Again, you need to set up rate limiting per user per session, how do you want to do it, and then monitor the cost within the budget alerts. For example, my monthly budget for this project would be $10,000, so I need to make sure that I'm monitoring the cost, and when the cost is about to reach near 10,000, I should be getting some alerts out of it. Okay, so these are some of the things that we have discussed. Now we will just jump into the demo on how Google AI Studio works, and how we can use this based of our use case. So I am just going to switch my account. Just give me a moment. Okay. So as soon as you will log in, this is how your homepage of Google, AI Studio would look like. Again, it depends, like what do you really want to do. It will tell you, do you want to discuss feature stuff, or do you want to do code and chat, or do you want to build images, do you want to build videos, or do you want to uh, do speech, or maybe identify some music or some real time information that you want to monitor. And here you will be able to see the history, whatever you have done previously you'll be able to see here. So again, if we come here on the build section, this is where we will start building our applications. Okay. Again, it's a mobile application, whatever it is, we can start giving it the prompt and it should be able to build application for us. So some of the suggestions are already being provided. Maybe convert text to speech, generate music, add database with auth, maybe create some images. So it is already giving us some suggestions. And also if you hover on the application, it might also give you some of the app that you have recently created. Okay. And then if you go to the galleries, here it might be showing you some of the templates that are already available to utilize. Okay. And now if we go to the dashboard, it will tell you that how many API keys you have, what is the usage of those. So I have set up like around 3 API keys which are there, different kind of projects that I have, what is my usage for each API key that we are using. This is something that was related to rate limiting that we discussed, that I want to set rate limiting that maybe I should not be able to spend more than $10,000 per month, and that should be it. Here you will be able to see your complete spending, how much money that you have utilized so far, what is your cap budget. Like for example, here just I have set $1 for experiment, and as soon as $1 will come, I will not be able to use the AI agent anymore. Again, from billing perspective, I think this will contain the information of your card, your account which is linked with Google, and then logs and data set. If you have any API key or data sets that you have uploaded, that would get reflected here. Okay. So let's jump into the building the application. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to ask it to build a very, very basic application for us. Okay, build a website. I am a new car company. My sorry about that. My competitor is Tesla, and I want to crash the market by providing cost effective product, one sedan, one SUV, or two SUVs as my starting products. They are also electric vehicles. Create a website. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we just give it a very basic prompt, which is very even rough. So I just ask it to, just create a website. I'm a new car company. My competitor is Tesla. I want to crash the market by providing cost-effective product. One is sedan, and two of them are SUVs. These are my starting, products, and I am also a electric vehicle company. So let's see what do we get here. It is still editing some file. It might take a moment. So if you see, it has already started to build out something. So basically it is providing me some of the different designs that I can select out of it. So again, it depends. I think I like this design more, so I'm going to select this design. So it is going to generate the application for us. Again, it can take a moment. So it completely depends on your use case, what you want to build. And again, here I have not specified it any language, so it has automatically, I think, start to build on JavaScript and TypeScript. If you want to be very specific, that you want to build it on a specific language, you want to use a specific framework which you are more comfortable with, you can always add that in the prompt, that build this code in this language, and it is going to do that for you. Okay. So basically, it has given us a small summary that it has created, brand name as Lumen Motors. Okay, this is the brand identity. It is luxury brand. It has three models. This is what we told it in the prompt, right? One sedan, two SUVs, and the starting price is around 29,000, 34,000, and 42,000. So again, we are trying to disrupt the market, and a market analysis section would also be explicitly benchmark Luminous effective value. The competition highlights calculated saving of 20K per vehicle. So we have already done that analysis because I told it that we want to break the market. So as per the analysis, we it says that you will be. This is how we can sell it to the customers by telling them that they will be saving 20K per vehicle. So again, sometimes we might not always have to rely on the vehicle on the numbers that we get. We always need to make sure that we are fact checking those numbers. So if it says 20K, you will be saving, please do your research and do not publish these numbers to management without having a clear idea of this. Because again, it's AI. Sometimes you might get irrelevant responses. Sometimes you might get some hallucinations. So always fact check when you are reporting some numbers that are generated by AI. Okay. Then again, as we discussed that we want a good experience. It has provided some good experience. Now this is what it is telling us in the technical stack, that it has built it with React. It has used CSS. It has used some motions. This is our website, how it looks like when it's ready, and the text, how it has used it. So if we scroll down, you see this is a great website that has been created for us. So this is the first model that it has, I think, generated for us. Yes, this is the first one that is also listed here. Okay, and then this is the second one, and then I think this is the third one. Okay, so if I click on explore, nothing is going to happen because I have not given it any prompt on top of it. Or again, vehicles, mission, tech, configurators. So again, only vehicle is clickable because we just gave it a very specific prompt. Now I can ask it, please, please show the prices of each vehicle on the website with their features. Also add a form for booking a test drive, asking the customer to upload their asking the customer to add their name, email, phone number, and a drop down slot for 5 working days. Once the user hits the submit button, it should show them the success that test has been booked. The team will reach out to you shortly. Okay, so I just gave it another prompt. I'm telling it that what I want you to do is, first of all, start listing the prices of the vehicle as well. Okay, and then create a website form where the user can ask for, book the test drive. They will be asking for their name, email, and phone number, and what slots that they are available. So ideally, now it should be creating a web form here that should reflect all these details. So again, it might take a moment to display all this information or understand the prompt. Okay, so as I was just telling you guys that this is a preview, and if you want to view the code, you can view the code here. If you want to update anything, you can update that in the real time and see how it is reflecting on the front end. If you want to download the code, you just click on this button and the code has got downloaded right away. If you want to again zoom in, zoom out, search for a specific file, so this is actually same as any IDE editor like VS Code or IntelliJ. this is exactly the same thing. So all your code is here. Whatever you are going to update here should get reflected real time in the preview section. You can download it, you can reuse it in one of your editors. Similarly, if you want to share this link with anybody, so for example, I might want to share it on my other email where the users can just view this. Okay, and I'm just going to give them this access. So as soon as a person with this email will log in, they should also be able to view even without publishing it. So for example, if you have your other colleagues or people you're working with, or if you're working on your final year project, or you're working in a company, you can, even without publishing this, you can, share the link with them, and they should be able to access this website without even deploying it. Okay, so I think it has completed the yeah, it has completed the, yeah, as you can see, the very first thing we asked was to display the price. The prices is being displayed on all of the websites, or sorry, on all of the vehicles. As soon I click on book drive, you see here it is saying me reserve my drive. So for example, if I add my name Mariam, I enter my email, I enter my phone number, and then I say maybe I'm just available on Tuesday, and now I'm going to click on confirm reservation. So you see, it just gave me the success message, test book. Our team will reach out to you shortly to confirm your session. So again, this is a very small POC that we have built. Now, for example, if you just want to, publish this, you'll just simply come here, you will click on get started. If you have any of the existing projects, you can publish it there. So I will not be publishing this, because if I do, it will override my existing projects. But you just need to select one of the projects that are there, and then the publish button should get enabled. As soon as you do this, it is going to publish, and then you can, share this project, and people can interact with it, reuse it. So this is something very helpful when you just have an idea. For example, I have a business idea, but I don't know where to start. But what I can do is maybe I can just create a website and see how people would respond to my idea. So for example, maybe I want to start my own merchandiser, where I'm just printing different shirts or different t-shirts with logos. Okay, so maybe I can just create a small POC out of this, and make this live and ask people to interact with my website. And instead of doing this thing, which is like booking the test ride, maybe what we can do is we can create a wait list form or something like this, and then connect it with the database or an Excel. Whoever people are trying to interact or buy from your brand, whenever they submit a query, that will get reflected in your email or in your Excel or in some sort of database. So these kind of things are very, very helpful when you want to start small and you want to see how the audience is responding. So I think that's pretty much it from my side. Thank you.
Actually, Mariam, it's very good, and especially as you say, for someone who want to start his startup project, and he didn't know how to code, and didn't have good background, coding background. So yeah, he need to use this Google Studio. Google Studio. So yeah, it's so helpful. Mariam, again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be our first guest here on our new season D1. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you really so much for this helpful session.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending this session. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.